Hey guys, it's Marla. Welcome back to the weekly reading. This is for the week of September 24th, 2016. Okay, the first card is the overall energy for this week, and it's the oppression card or the Tower. So some of you might recall that in a reading I did 2 weeks ago, we had this same card. This one was in the position of advice from Spirit. And I read it as saying that the karma that's been holding us back for a long time was going to be cleared. This was around the full moon Pisces eclipse that was conjunct Chiron, as well as Mercury retrograde in Virgo that was opposing Chiron 3 times. And that Mercury retrograde I talked about has helping us heal our hearts so that we could more fully step into divine service. So I feel like all of this is starting to come to fruition this week. So now we have this same card, has the overall energy. This has been a hard month, and the last 2 weeks have been extremely hard. A lot of you are ready to throw in the towel. People have been very tense. Okay? I feel like this week you'll have some kind of revelation happen for you, either inwardly or outwardly. I feel like now the karma that we've been dealing with is done. Now, I'm not saying all your karma is cleared, okay? This is a process, but you've been working on a big chunk all spring and summer. And now it looks like we're getting ready to finally let that go and move on. This card represents, to me, you locking yourself away in your ivory tower because you're afraid. So you're protecting yourself. You're being defensive. You don't want to appear vulnerable. That's your ego. This same ego that's trying to protect you is also keeping you stuck, keeping you chained because of your fears of being hurt or abandoned. They're not allowing you to move forward. So expect to be freed from that. I also feel like circumstances are going to be changing for a lot of you too. There'll be opportunities and shifts occurring that are going to open new doors. This is what I was talking about a couple weeks ago when I was mentioning that Spirit is just aligning things for you and that you don't have to worry that things are going to come together. But first, we needed to be free of these old structures. Now, the second card is the hidden influence, and it's the 10 of Cups. This is a beautiful card to get. So what we don't see coming is that we're shifting into a happier energy for relationships. This week we have a new moon in Libra. Libra is the sign of partnerships and justice. Jupiter entered Libra at the beginning of the month. Now we have a new moon here, and I feel like the new moon here conjunct Jupiter is really ushering in this new relationship energy. So over the next year, as Jupiter transits here, we're going to be taking a closer look at our relationships. Venus this week has moved into Scorpio. So you're going to be looking for a deeper, more intense love. So we've cleared that old karma. We've healed a big part of our heart with that Mercury retrograde. Okay, now at this new moon, Mercury's making his third and final pass to Chiron, the opposition, kind of saying like, okay, our work here is done. Mercury's also going to be in conjunct Uranus. So that could be that revelation or that something hitting you out of the blue. Okay, and now we're shifting our focus into this partnership energy. Now, my take on Jupiter in Virgo, or Jupiter in Libra rather, I do think it's going to be a great transit for us. But I did mention in the video that I did that the early part of the transit was going to be difficult because Jupiter is not going to just keep going with the status quo of your relationship. If your relationship is weak or having problems, he's going to show you the weakness in the foundation of that. So the early part of this transit, I feel, could have some issues. Not in a bad way, but we're transitioning now into divine partnerships. And part of that transition involves looking at the old relationships that we had, the old style of doing things, and seeing what the flaws are and seeing where we can make it better. But I really feel next year when Jupiter moves into Scorpio, that will be really the time where we fully usher in divine partnerships. Now the new moon is on the Sabian, 3 old masters hanging in a special room in an art gallery. Sometimes they seem to speak to each other. So I feel like this message here at the new moon is to look deeper, that there's hidden messages somewhere. Don't just look at the surface. Go deeper. What can you find? What message is there for you? Now Jupiter is on 4 Libra. His Sabian is a man teaching the true inner knowledge of the new world to his students. I love this one for Jupiter because I feel, again, this is the big kickoff to this energy. And Jupiter's going to be teaching us the true knowledge, the true authentic relationships that we need to transition into. I'm not sure if I mentioned that this is a 10, which reduces to 1, which is a new beginning. I may or I may not have. When I'm channeling, I forget what I say. So interesting this week that we had Angelina Jolie announce that she was going to divorce Brad Pitt, actually, because I don't watch the news or TV. I don't read tabloids, but I saw this on Facebook, and I had always assumed that they had this really great relationship. But now the truth is coming out. They're needing to stand in their authenticity. And ironically, Brad Pitt announced that he was divorcing Jennifer Aniston for Angelina Jolie back in January 2005 when Jupiter had just recently transitioned into the sign of Libra. So this transit isn't the greatest transit for Brad Pitt, but I think it's interesting. And I think that Brad and Angelina are going to be an example of some things that maybe we need to look at further to see where these old belief systems are that we need to transition out of so that we can move towards a more divine partnership nature. Some of the things that stood out to me has being old paradigm that we need to shift out of is, well, right away the press wanted to bring up Jennifer Aniston again. Now, they've been divorced for 11 years, so that's kind of old news, but they want to focus on how Angelina Jolie stole Brad Pitt, and now this is karma. Well, in a divine partnership, you can't really steal a man because a man is a human being and he doesn't belong to anybody. He is his own sovereign self and he can choose to be with who he wants to be with. I think there's another facet here about blaming women, pitting women against each other, and this goes back, I'm sure, towards the old days when women were dependent on a man for their survival, to provide for them. And now we still have it in our heads of, if, someone takes your man, maybe you won't have the means to survive. I think this is kind of a holdover to that, but I think pitting women against each other, catty remarks, I don't think is healthy. And Angelina Jolie really took all the blame for the split of this marriage, that she's too beautiful, she's too sexy. Obviously, she's this evil person that is just out to steal people's men. And really, it was Brad, right? I mean, it was his choice to decide who he wanted to be with. Apparently his needs weren't getting fulfilled in the relationship that he had, so he decided to move into a new relationship. I'm not sure it's really anyone's fault or that anyone needs to be blamed. Of course, there's this old patriarchy notion that boys will be boys. You don't blame Brad because, well, men just cheat. That's the way of the world, so we'll just accept that. This is another old-fashioned idea that really needs to be looked at, and I hope it goes away. Okay, it does not do justice to men to treat men as if they don't have any control over themselves. That if there's, a woman that's pretty and after them, that they're just going to sleep with her because they don't have any self-control. Okay, let's have the divine masculine energy step up and get rid of that once and for all. So I just found it interesting that this cycle was coming around again with Jupiter moving into Libra and feeling like this is definitely bringing up some things for us to look at and kind of contemplate. So the advice from Spirit card is the Ace of Staves. So there is a new beginning definitely on the way. What I'm getting is that now that we've done this healing, we are freeing ourselves to really move forward. I feel like this is the energy of manifestation coming in. So what you've been trying to create, developing, taking shape. I feel like there's going to be this feeling of a weight has been lifted off of you. And this zest for life, this passion, this creativity is going to come forward and envelop you. And this energy is helping you get into mission as well. And there's, many different levels to your mission. but it seems like you're now ready to put yourself forward. Very driven. The goddess for our new moon is Dana, High Priestess. Her message is, you have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. So Dana, and interesting, she has a new moon on her forehead. I don't think you can see that. Your wisdom extends back into the far reaches of ancient times. You've brought this knowledge forward into your present incarnation to be a way shower for others. Don't delay in expressing this wisdom. I will assist you in manifesting platforms for your spiritual teaching, whether it's through teaching by example or through writing or speaking. All forms of teaching are equally valuable, no matter how many lives you touch. Lead workshops, write books or articles, look for opportunities to teach, be a role model of peace, honor your divinity, know that you are a leader. So definitely going to be a more mission focused. I'm actually feeling like over the next month or two, I'll be seeing a lot more of you stepping forward with new ideas and initiatives and getting your message out there. I also feel like many of you are way showers and leaders and just leading by example and just out there spreading love and breaking down those old belief systems and spreading the new divine templates for partnerships. So happy new moon in Libra. Have a great week. I love you, and I will talk to you soon.